So then, should we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode today?
I am quite hungry. Why not? Meat and potato time.
And what an incredible meal we have.
Oh, yeah. Big time. We're going to be talking today, folks, about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Staying at home, not doing much tonight. Why don't you watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
I will say this about this movie that we're about to talk about. This is a full circle movie for the matinee review because we were talking about Black Panther Wakanda Forever on our very first episode when they had about 6 different scripts out there. And they did not know exactly which one was the real one. They didn't know exactly how it was still all going to play out. We hadn't seen any clips. There wasn't anything. We haven't seen clips of costumes. We hadn't seen what Namor looked like. We didn't know I don't even think we knew who was playing Namor yet. And now here we are. We've seen it. It's out there, and it's time to talk about it. I am excited.
Yeah, you were talking about this before we even started recording, and I was sitting there going, oh my God, you're right. This is, like you said, full circle from episode 1 to now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I can't wait to come full circle again with whatever we talked about with episode 2.
Right.
All right. Off the bat, I will say, I loved this movie. It was great. It was a wonderful send-off for Chadwick. And like you said, this is what they had to do with the reality of having lost their main star. How do you do it without him and not replace him? So, yeah, no, I quite enjoyed it. How about you?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. At first, I remember when we first kind of talked about it, I said that I think I enjoyed this more than the first one. And after rewatching the first one, I can honestly say that they're literally like Black Panther stands on it's almost its own movie at this point. Like it's its own movie in a way where because of what happened with Chadwick, the first one it's really great that it's just like at the end of all the credits, it's like it says the Black Panther will return.
Yes.
And Black Panther does return. But it's in a completely different setting. So it's like this second one feels like it's its own movie where because of how it plays out and because of the ending, because of the cutscenes, all that, this movie feels like when the next Black Panther movie comes up, that it will almost be a new origin story for the new Black Panther. This movie feels like here's a prequel, which we'll get to, like pre-spoilers. You know what I'm trying to say. Like I think that I enjoy both the movies equally in their own right. But I was blown away by this movie, and just because of a lot of things happening in my personal life and things I've gone through in the past months, this movie definitely hits a lot harder.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On an emotional level, I for sure was crying out loud at one or two parts. Well, as best I could, covering my mouth and holding Kayla's hand, and yeah. Just couldn't hold some of that stuff in. So, yeah, this movie was emotional, but it was, you hear things like triumphant and a masterpiece and this and that. It's just a really, really great movie with a fantastic story.
Yes, and I remember you saying that you enjoyed this one storyline and everything better than the first one. Storyline-wise and everything, I can't say that I enjoyed the first movie's story better. I enjoyed this one quite a bit, but the only thing that was lacking the entire movie was just that charm that Chadwick had. The entire time, I'm enjoying it thoroughly, but I was trying to think like there's that one thing that's missing, and it obviously, and it really was Chadwick. He has that screen presence, he had that charm, and I think I said to you at one point, Cary Grant, Denzel Washington, you put them on screen and people are watching. People are intrigued. People are wanting to know what are they going to say next, what are they going to do next. Chadwick had that. And, yeah. So, I mean, like you said, they're their own movies at this point.
Yeah.
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 But we could talk a little bit about this movie here. We're not going to go beat for beat, scene for scene, and we're going to try our best not even to give a lot of stuff away. We want to try to let people experience some of these things. So we're just going to point out a couple things that we just liked, that we just want to kind of bring up. And there will be some spoilers. So
yes, be prepared for that. There's stuff that we're going to be have to talk about. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, it's like, well, you know,
Yeah.
Don't listen to the episode.
Yeah. No. If you haven't seen it, just turn this
Please,
off
please.
and
Yeah.
you know and skip to the end if you want to.
All right.
I guess I have to do a time code. I really have to get better with the whole time code things. I'm don't have them anymore. Haven't done them. I need to do them more. That's all there is to it.
We'll get it.
I need to get better at this whole thing.
It's all good.
Damn it.
It's all good.
Damn it.
We've only been doing. It's only our like 14th episode. Remember, fine. We're
Right.
still young at this. This is new, new areas. So I would like to talk about a gentleman named Tenoch Huerta who played Namor.
Yes.
So the movie, in the credits, it said introducing Tenoch Huerta, and it might be his first big screen role, but I remember mentioning to you that he plays a homie dude from Narcos Mexico who had the golden AK-47. So like he did a great job there.
Mm-hmm.
So when he got announced as Namor, I was looking forward to his performance, and I thought he did a really good job. The one thing that kept sticking out to me was like he's really regal. He seemed like royalty. Like just his movements, just and the way he spoke, his cadence, just like everything, like the way he addressed people, like everything about him. I was like, man, he feels like he's the king of something. He feels like he's a god. Like it. And I thought that was the first thing that stuck out. I thought that was really great. And then also that quiet, like, you know, that rage where if he needed to, you kind of go, okay, there's a line when I'm talking to the dude, like maybe you check, you know, but just the way he presented himself. So I just really thought just his overall performance was amazing. Every time he was on screen, it's just the way he carried himself. I thought that was really awesome.
He had the presence of a king and a general at the same time.
Yes.
You know, because he was worried about his people and he was fighting for his people. And in either way, that's what he was going to do. It's like, if you make me do this, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this for them. I'm thinking about them. I don't want anybody to come for them.
Right.
And that's what I fucking enjoyed. Really, because is it a villain at that point? How much of a villain is he? By, you know, the stuff that he does, some of the lines that he may cross, yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think even the actor said that he never sees himself as the villain.
No.
And of course, even in the story, the character does not see himself as the villain. And I will say the introduction to him that we get in this movie was really cool. Really cool. And it just had that bad Superman vibe in that scene. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude knows how to make an entrance. His first entrance in Wakanda, where he's just like dipping out of the water, like, "Hello."
Oh yeah,
you didn't hear me, but you know, here I am. Yeah, just excellent. I'd say that the only point that where he even would be like, "Oh, there he turns villain," is when he's unwilling to find a peaceful solution to his shit. Like he's sitting there talking to Shuri, and Shuri's like, "Come on, we can't even work together and talk about it." He's like, "Nah, we're not doing that." So it's like, okay, well then, I guess.
Right.
But in his eyes, he's coming from the place of like, no, I know what happened. I know what's coming. I've seen this before, and I'm not going to let that happen again. So you're either going to help me, or my army is going to overrun yours, and that's just what's going to happen. I'm just going to run you down. Mm-hmm. And on the point of Namor, I want to jump right to, hey man, you want to see what really good flying looks like?
Dude.
How about a dude with wings on his feet that goes from left to right, drops down, stops on a dime, then goes straight up at Mach speed? That was some of the most impressive, just, I'm going to do things in midair, back and forth, zip zap, I've seen in a little while.
When it comes to trying to set a comic book character, how do you make him, how do you make this I don't want the hokey comic book stuff. I want what it would be like in real life. What would it be like in real life if this character was real in our world right now? That was right there some of the best example of them doing it the right way, especially with the flying. The physics, the everything that they added to it, it did not make it look like the man was floating because he could just float. Everything he did when it came to him flying was because of the wings on his feet. And it was so cool.
Yep.
I mean, like when you said the left to right, the stopping on the dime, it looked like him ice skating in the air, and it didn't look like the Flash. You know, it looked cool. I want to see more of that.
I liked the underwater city of Talocan.
Talocan, yeah.
It looked really neat.
Yeah.
I like the way they did it. And not for anything, but, you know, you watch this, then you watch Aquaman. One is a very clear indication of what an underwater breathing kingdom should kind of look like and should be able to operate without, like, air bubbles and all that shit. Not trying to talk shit, just saying, like, did we need air bubbles when we see what can be done with what, you know, what the fuck? Like, you know, not for anything. You know what I mean?
This was Marvel saying to DC, here, hold my beer. It really was. Every time DC does something that they're like, ha, we did it first. It's like, it's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's fine. But yes, this is leagues better than anything that was in Aquaman, in any scene that was underwater in this movie.
And I like how Talocan was based on Atlantis and the place Talocan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Like Talocan from like actual Aztec mythology, which was an actual like representation of like subterranean people. So kudos for them taking like actual real world, you know, and throwing it in and doing the research, because it just gives it that feel. It's just, that's why I was really excited about where they went with Namor, like how he gets his name, the fact that they call him Kukulkan,
yes,
all that. Like I love all of it. It was very well done.
Yeah, no, I just the design work of this movie was fabulous, and it felt like a ride when you were experiencing the new world of the underwater city. And again, comparing it to Aquaman, when you got to Atlantis, I was like, oh wow, yeah, there you go, neat. But when I was watching this, I was eyes kind of wide open, like, this is awesome. Fantastic looking visuals in this movie. Again, I mean, how do you top the visuals from the first one? Well, they did.
I mean, you add Underwater Kingdom, you know, when you understand that first one's like, now let's show how brilliant Wakanda looks. Let's show how brilliant the Wakanda technology is, you know, because just like I thought it was kind of interesting where in rewatching the first Black Panther, there's this story of like, oh, Wakanda has shielded itself from the world, where it was also their first time in the MCU. So it could be like, oh, to us, the MCU is like, oh yeah, Wakanda's just this place where it's like this third world, it's nothing real great. And then all of a sudden the Black Panther shows up, then it's like, oh wow. And so it was also our first time getting to see, you know, Wakanda on the big screen, this, that, and the third. So like that first movie's about, here you go. So now the second movie could be like, yo, you've seen Wakanda, now look at this great underwater world and all this, and boom, 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 boom. So yeah.
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoyed the fact that, well, first, let's say that I think you called it. I think you said Shuri was going to be the one that ended up in the Black Panther outfit. I thought it was going to be Lupita. So I think you called it.
I thought it was going to be Lupita as well.
Kayla for sure called it. She was saying it was, not only did she say it was going to be Shuri, she was like, it should be Shuri. Who else would it be? And in hindsight, it's like, yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah.
Like even in the trailer, when I saw her land, I was like, that's kind of Shuri's frame. But
right, like I said, in hindsight,
I was hoping
like,
it was going to be Lupita.
Especially with kind of like how it ends too. If it is Lupita, it's like, also,
we? You know
in
what?
hindsight,
But I'm probably going to cut that little bit out just because I don't know if I want to spoil that last scene.
You sure, bruh? We gotta talk about it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll give people a big fucking break before we hit it, so you can cut it out there. But like, that's like, of all the things, of all the cutscenes, of all the movies, it's like, that's one of Marvel's best. That's the one.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Because I feel like it's one of those things where if this comes out and it's like, oh, how come you guys didn't talk about the cutscene? It's like we want people to experience. It's like, well, all right.
I already experienced it, and I wanted to hear you talk about it. Yes. Okay, so we will talk about it. We'll leave that to the very end.
When like every other podcast on the planet gonna talk about it.
Right.
And a lot of other podcasts gonna open with it like, okay, first off bat, first news.
Right.
Boom. So
right.
That we gotta talk about it. Like, you know.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. we'll give a good countdown before we actually talk about that last scene.
Yeah, but I do agree. We'll save that tidbit. We'll save it till the end of the episode. So yeah, we'll cut that little whoop out. So yeah, we both thought it was going to be Lupita in the outfit. Turns out to be Shuri, and in hindsight, that probably was the better choice. Kayla called it. She said, yeah, not only is it going to be Shuri, but it should be Shuri. So, but I still thought, like you, it would have been cool if it would have been Lupita.
Yeah. The way the story was written, I think that this was the way it had to go. And this, especially since that's the way it was in the comics at one point, from what I heard. So she's having her run, and let's talk about her. How'd you like Shuri this round?
It's her movie.
Yeah.
One thing I told Kayla, with Letitia Wright and with pretty much everybody in this movie, no one had to try hard to go to a place of grief, to go to a place of having to show that they're missing, that they're going through loss, because they are.
Right.
They were.
Yeah.
At the time. So all those emotions from Letitia Wright are coming through. Every time she's thinking about her brother, she's thinking about Chad.
Yeah.
So it's real for her.
Yep.
And so I think that just added this layer where like Shuri was forced to grow up very fast. I mean, because again, rewatching the first one, she's very much a kid. She's super playful. She's super. Oh no, what's going on? Oh no, like when the opening scene when it's like, the tribe doesn't want to challenge today. She's like, okay, this bodice is really tight. Can we wrap it up? Like she's just, like where
flipping
she says,
him
like,
off when she's walking away when you first get introduced to her.
Scoffing at authority, not taking everything very seriously until it's like, and then when it gets real, she turns it on, but like very playful all the time. So like in this movie, just really forced to grow up, really forced to carry the fucking baton, especially after, R.I.P. to moms, then it gets very real. And, she does an amazing job. Amazing job. Letitia Wright, Letitia Wright killed it. And hey, hands down, Shuri is the best Disney princess. You can come and argue with me about that if you want, and I will tell you why you might be wrong.
Or are absolutely wrong.
Right. If you don't think it's her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
You did mention the R.I.P. to moms. Angela Bassett was at first very much so upset with the fact that she was being killed off. But after talking to the director at one point, having a little conversation with him, like, hey, what the hell? He convinced her that it was right for the story.
Well, you work for a Disney company. Have you not seen how they treat parents?
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of a Disney tradition.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time.
Correct.
That train is never late.
Yep.
Love you, honey, but come on. That's how it works.
By the way, Ant-Man 3 is coming out, so we'll see what happens there. There's a couple of sets of parents in that one.
Well, hey, it's like a national treasure. Somebody's got to go to jail, Ben. It's a Disney movie. Somebody's parents has to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many more is Michael Douglas prepared to do at this point?
I'm saying, bro. Or Michelle Pfeiffer, really. I mean, if we're just being honest, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, anyway,
Plus,
Yeah.
I'm sure Michael Douglas is getting a little expensive at this point.
You think?
Yeah, man, he's Michael fucking Douglas.
How many people knocking
I'm
down
sure
his
they
door?
had
How
to
many
pay him
people
quite a
knocking
bit
down his
just to
door
get him for the
cast him
first
now?
movie. Then to get him into the second movie, you got to pay him more.
How many other movies is he doing though at this point though?
But
Like,
he's Michael
really?
fucking Douglas.
I understand that, Justin. But like, how you can't listen? We're about to get a new Ross, bro. They can go find another old man. You know what I'm saying? Like
They can, but there's only certain reasons why we're getting another General Ross.
I understand.
One being the guy is dead. But
I understand that. I'm just saying.
when you
you
hire
can't
certain
demand
actors,
you can't
after
demand
a
too
while,
much money. Ask Terrence Howard. Ask Ed Norton.
No.
Okay.
Terrence Howard was not in it, having been working since the early '80s.
I understand that.
Possibly late '70s. I'm sure by the third movie, you got to pay an actor like that.
And I bet Disney does not hold a candle to Michael Douglas like you do, Justin. That's all
I'm not holding a candle. I'm not holding a candle. I'm also trying to prove a point here that by the third movie, if you got a big actor, you have to pay them quite a bit. Look what happened to Anthony Hopkins, third Thor. Bye.
Oh, Parent too. Like you can be God all
And
you want.
Parent,
By
like
the,
I
by
said,
the third
third
one, you
movie,
have to go.
Parent.
It's just written so you go. But I don't think money had anything to do with it. I don't think that's part of the factor.
Sometimes
You might know better than me.
Come on now.
You know
I'm
the
just saying
Hollywood world a little better than I do. So
when you have a budget and a good portion of your budget is a chunk, like a good 15-20 million is going to one actor, and you got 8 to 12 other actors you got to pay, and then the effects, and then everything, the editing, all that bundle of making a movie and advertising after that.
I mean, you could still have them be in that mood without. You don't necessarily have to kill them off, and then you just tell them like we're done with you. Like you don't necessarily have to kill them off. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, but it just makes for a better story. That's why they always kill someone off.
Right.
Yeah.
And plus, we're dealing with Kang.
Right.
So.
Where like everyone's going to die. There's no with him. There's no like half. It's like no, everybody has to go. Like this is.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But circling back, Angela Bassett was originally not happy with being killed off, but once she had a conversation with Ryan Coogler, she realized, oh yeah, okay.
Angela,
all right.
we can't write the script over again. Like this is
right.
This is the best story. This is it. This is the one.
And I think it was the one. I don't know.
I mean, it's a great. It's a what's a good death? It's an honorable death. She dies saving Riri.
Yeah.
To me, the saddest aspect about it was, of course, Shuri loses her mom, and of course, there's the death of a mother, so it hit. But
yeah,
like the Queen died, and Okoye's last interaction with the Queen was like, "No, you're fucking get the fuck out of here! Like you lost my daughter."
Right.
So like, Okoye didn't get to the Queen and be like, "I redeemed myself. I'm sorry," but I know she knows and stuff. That's why she doing her thing. But like, it's just for that. Those moments of like you feel like the things you didn't like. It'd be like like somebody you get into like a real bad fight with someone and they pass away. It's like,
right.
You didn't get to be like, in your heart that you're sorry, they're sorry. It was just heat of the moment, but still, you just want to have that, hey.
Still wish you could have said something.
Want to have that, hug it out. You want to have that, I'm sorry. Like, know what I mean? I didn't mean that shit. You know what I mean? So.
Yep.
Yeah.
You did mention Riri.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of saving Miss Riri Williams, yeah, man. Great little performance by Dominic Thorne. I look forward to Ironheart.
Yeah, she was cool.
The suit was dope. Her little overboosters were dope. When they came out, a little, and that was fire. Yeah. And she it seemed like she put stuff together mad quick. Is it just me, or is it just like montages where that? I mean, I know she'd been working on the suit for like years. She said, but like other stuff,
right?
Seemed
So
like
she had already had
like,
her.
Yeah.
And
so other stuff, it seemed like
she
she just
doesn't
kind of
have
like.
to.
There you go. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It felt quick to me.
She had way better technology to work with. She didn't have to put everything on a piece of paper and print it out because all they had to do was just touch a screen. Yeah, she projects everything. So she was working super quick with the help of the Wakanda Jarvis.
It's Trevor Noah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So she get that done quick.
Yeah.
The one thing that I didn't, and this, one of my, I think, 2 gripes with this movie was the line that one of the agents gave when they bust through the door, and they're like, FBI, freeze, everybody hands on the ground. You hear one guy go, "Oh, shoot, she's got an Iron Man outfit."
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Did you have to say that, man?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because you figure it out when you see her wearing it and flying the fuck around. Especially when Shuri's like, "Hey, is this an arc reactor?"
Right.
And then she's like, "I told you not to touch anything."
Right.
So you're already getting the fact that she's built her own suit.
Right.
And it was that spoon feeding the audience thing.
You know what it felt like to me? It felt like the real world reaction for like a kid who maybe has a little Iron Man worship, being a officer of the law and saying out loud, "Oh shit, that's an Iron Man suit." It felt like on par, honestly. Like, sure. I had no problem with it. To me, I was like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Somebody would probably geek out walking in a room. "Oh, freezing! Oh shit, it's an Iron Man suit. The fuck?" Like, I was like, huh, uh-huh.
I guess it's just because I know that right there was for audience members who don't get it. It's like, here, she's the new Iron Man. The torch has been passed. Here we go.
Well, you have to for the some of the normies who won't watch unless they make that connection. So where else are you gonna throw that in? Where else are you gonna throw that in?
You don't have to. By movie 30, you don't do it for the normies anymore. You're doing it for the people who keep paying for these movies.
No, you don't.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Not if you want to keep.
Yes, you do.
Money, because when you start listening to them, that's when you start turning to DC. That's what happens when you.
No,
start,
I'm not saying you're listening to them. You're making these movies for them.
Yeah,
because
by
movie 30,
but you also have to be inclusive because understand, like, you have to throw that in for the cats that were younger, year one, phase one, that are having kids now, that are mad young, that might.
Yeah, I got to remember they're also making these for kids too.
Right. That's why everyone's getting younger. That's why the new Iron Man's 19.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's why the new Thor is a child.
WandaVision, you got the two characters who are usually like teenagers.
Yeah.
And they're, at this point, they're about to be teenagers. Wow, fuck.
Right.
By the time they start filming anything that they're going to be in next, they'll both be probably about 17 or 16.
Give or take.
Shit. Yep. Well, when I said they were making the Young Avengers and the next Avengers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really just planning it out pretty damn well.
Right. That's why you have to do this early advertising well. There's always one or two little lines of spoon feeding in all of them. It's just I will say this. That was one of the more blatant ones. They're usually a little better. They're usually a little better at like making people guess. But what you gonna do? They'd already ruined everything by showing that it looks like an Iron Man outfit in the damn trailer, and they've already showed. She's sitting there hammering it out like Robert Downey was. So they've already. Now, why not go on ahead and just be like, it looks like an Iron Man suit?
I think with a little bit of editing there, they could have done something along the lines of, like, especially if I don't remember if the sound of her blaster cannon from her hand makes the exact same sound before shooting that the Iron Man outfit would, with that kind of high pitch sound that it gives off. But if it did, that would be the perfect time to interrupt him saying, oh shoot, is that a, and then you just hear that.
Or you have her you have all that. They leave, she flies out the way.
Yeah.
The dude gets knocked down. He turns to another dude, he's like, is that an Iron Man suit?
Even better. Yeah, just because the fact that it's just before she's doing her thing, it almost takes away that bit of coolness of the introduction of that shot. That kind of zoom in shot of her in the outfit, raising her arm, and then taking off. So, that's my gripe.
I get it.
What can you do?
Yeah. But I think she did a great job. I look forward
to
Ironheart.
She was funny, too.
She was very much.
Yeah, she had some good timing.
I do like the little, it wasn't her line, but it reminded me when they're going up there like, okay, we have to snatch the student. She's like, maybe I should go. I can be a little more discreet. Are you saying I'm not discreet? Sure, he just gives her this look like, look at you.
Right. Like, what is it? Is it the makeup? Is it the tone? Like,
yeah.
That's fine.
You
It's
know,
fine.
you need to get a look on your look, how you look right now, being so ashy.
Walking around with all that ash on your head.
I knew the
I
color was
told
off.
you.
Yeah. That was pretty good. That made me think of
Yeah.
my mom. That super made me think of my mom. That's one thing she always, don't walk out looking ashy. So one thing you do not go out there looking ashy. Super funny.
I did like when she said, like, what about the Black Panther? The Black Panther's going to come for us, right? She's like, no, the Black Panther, it's not, we don't have the Black Panther anymore. She's like, y'all stop having the Black Panther when I get kidnapped. I see.
Right.
I see how it is. Right.
Yeah.
She was good. She's got some good timing on her.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. The show also supposedly takes place directly right after the end of Black Panther. So we will see pretty much a continuation from the end of this movie. The show starts.
Oh, I can't wait to see her zip around in that car. That's going to be fire.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be super fire. It's probably going to get
I know that
destroyed.
there's something else going on in that car now, too.
Oh, no, yeah.
It's like, yeah, put it back together.
Might have a little Knight Rider voice or something on it. Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. She's
going to get into it. It's going to be like, good morning, Riri.
She's going to have her
I
Jarvis.
am your in-car navigator.
If it's Trevor Noah still, that'd be awesome.
Where would you like to go today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I thoroughly enjoyed the story writing thought that went into what turned into the fact that Shuri sees Killmonger in the ancestral plane.
Yes.
Because of what happens, and because of the fact that she sees Killmonger, it's just like why are you here? It's like, well, why am I not here? Like, what are you?
I'm your cousin.
Yeah. What are you really trying to get out of this? Like, what you're in? You want revenge, right? Well, what do you think I wanted? Now you know a little bit. Now you get it, you know?
Right.
So,
But not only that, but the fact that she's there hoping that she's going to see either her dad, her mom, hell, her grandparents, or even her brother.
she wanted to see her brother.
Exactly.
She wanted to see Chadwick. She wanted to see T'Challa.
Yeah.
That was her whole reasoning for going into it.
Right.
But because of what happens, it makes not only sense that she sees Killmonger, but she has to see Killmonger, so she has that turn.
Yes.
Because she doesn't want to be like Killmonger, so she has to see what she fears of. She has to see what she fears of becoming. It was awesome.
Not only that, but in that moment too, she feels completely abandoned.
Right.
Like nobody that I loved and nobody who loved me could have come to see me in this moment. Like I'm completely alone. What the fuck?
Just like Killmonger. Like he was a kid abandoned by his family, by his home.
Right.
And that sowed the seeds of what he became.
Yep.
So that was just the fact that she sees Killmonger I loved it.
Yeah.
Because it was nothing I could have called. I didn't know what she was gonna say. I didn't know who was gonna be sitting on that throne. I was like, would they go as far to do some like CGI Chadwick? Like, would they do that? And I'm like, no, they wouldn't do that. And I'm like, so who? I mean, she could see her mom. I was like, but if she saw her mom, I was like, I feel like it would be like actually in the ancestral plane. Why is she in the throne room? You know?
Well, at first, I thought I saw like her mom's hat. You know, like the one of the like the mom's hats, and then when it kept on going around, I saw the.
Honestly, I thought it was
dreads.
For some reason, I don't know why. Like, I thought it was like the top of M'Baku's head. I'm like, why is it going to be M'Baku? Like, I was like, at split second, I was like, Baku? I was like, nah. So like when it was Killmonger, I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Right.
That's perfect.
Yes.
And it was good to see Michael B. Jordan again as Killmonger,
Yes.
just doing his thing. Like he's like,
Well, I mean, especially because he was really good friends with Chadwick.
Yes.
I mean, they were in the same soap opera.
Yes.
They were friends, so it was good to have him back in this movie.
Yes.
Especially.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like the green. Hey, cousin. It just goes back.
Right.
Little flashback to like, hey, auntie. How he's always just calling people by their, cousin, auntie. He was always made sure to call people by their relation name, just because he's driving the point home. Like, yeah, I'm your fam. Like,
Right.
You left your fam. Remember that.
Yep.
So good.
It won't let you forget it.
Right.
At any point.
That's the point.
Yep.
They did some damage with those water grenades. Good lord. Like, that was Those were notes. I feel like every time the water grenades came out, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be bad," and it was.
Well, they
Man.
needed to in order to drive home the
Man, it got real.
the point where when you see that giant net of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at that point,
Yeah,
when you saw the giant net of them, you just went, "They're doomed."
Out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
No shit. Yeah, and it
I
worked.
just got
You're
I
right.
let
It
out a
worked.
oh.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
it is. That's a lot.
Bring all the grenades. How many?
All of them.
Everyone.
Yes.
Shout out Gary Oldman. When's he showing up in the MCU, man? Or has he? No, he hasn't. When's he showing up, man?
They just got to give him the right script.
Yeah, get some Gary Oldman in this bitch. You know who did pop up back in this movie, who I didn't expect to see, was Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
That was totally left field.
Not only did I not expect to see her, I totally did not expect like her and Ross to have been married, and it's a whole thing. Like, oh wow, okay,
What a twist.
yeah, wow, okay.
See, M. Night, this is how you do a twist.
Now I do believe that's like she's a very scary broad, where she's just fucking had those beads fucking the whole time, the whole time.
Yeah.
So we're good. It's like damn, gotta watch her, gotta watch that one.
She might be kind of a bitch.
She's good at being a bitch.
Yeah.
Just a real straightforward, just like, just on that real like, oh, honey, okay, here's why you're stupid. Like,
Right. Yeah.
like, oh, okay, you weren't being nice that whole time. Oh, okay, shit.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about motherfucking M'Baku.
Winston Duke. He's my favorite.
I really enjoyed how he had a little more rewatching the first one, all the it was a little more lower tone. This one seemed almost kind of like what? So it kind of felt like he kind of epped it up a little more in this one, to the point where when Namor fucking zips up to him and cracks his fucking chest plate, he's on the ground like, oh.
Yeah, and he's quite happy that he had that other underlaying as well. But yes, yeah. Well, I mean, I like how he's more comfortable. It shows that he's more comfortable with the fact that he's not just this other outcast tribe up in the mountains. They've now become a part of the council, and he is obviously on one of the seats.
Yes.
So he's able to come in and say, no. I have a voice, so now you get to listen to it. So yeah, you can see the joy of being included after all this time. So yeah, plus they've gone through things. We have to remember that there's been Infinity War, and then the 5 years. I don't know if he bamfed out or if he was still around during those 5 years of half the
I think
entire
he
universe being.
sticks around. I think he's one of the people in the field watching people get bamped around him, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he sticks around.
Then that means that he was around for those 5 years,
Yes.
which explains why he has the grays in
Yes.
this and other people don't.
Yeah, and how about him being the voice of reason in this movie, where he's going to Shuri?
Oh, he even talks about that. He mentions that, like,
I don't think your moms wouldn't want this, like, but my mother's not here. Like, ooh,
Right.
wicked. That monologue was wicked. That whole interaction was.
When he mentioned that, like, like your brother, I promised your brother that I would be the one who
Be your voice of reason.
would actually
be your
kind
counsel.
of talk you out of the dumb shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My mother is not here. My brother's not
Yeah.
here.
No, he was my favorite, and his delivery, his lines, and he, like, even an improv line of him,
Bald-headed
demon. That one. I laughed out loud when he said that, because he's in the middle of eating. He's still got the carrot in his hand. He's just pointing at her like, oh, and just the back and forth that you can imagine that they constantly have.
Right.
Oh, that was just it was all summed up into that one line. It was perfect.
They've sparred and she's beaten him.
Yeah, but it, like, exactly. So, like, you could think of anything. That's what I love about certain lines. The fact that he even said that, and the fact that it was improv. It just seemed so perfect for his character. That's when you know that he was not just reading lines, not just, playing a character for that moment of filming, that whenever he is that character, he is that character. Like, it shows. To the point where you can, like I said, you can think of a backstory with just one line of all these different scenarios that could have happened between two people.
Yeah.
So, bravo, Winston Duke, on that bit of improv, that line, because so perfect. So perfect. I wonder if it made her laugh. I wonder if it made other people laugh, if they had to call cut. I want to see a behind the scenes of that moment.
Yeah.
If you can give us anything in the behind the scenes of this movie, please give me that moment so I can know exactly what happened after they yelled cut. Because I'm sure they might have held their composure as best as possible, but if it's not even planned, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
And then the last thing, really, that I have, and then could just give a big rap about it. The movie, is I want to touch on a comment that you actually made, which is God, made me laugh, make sense, and just one of the reasons why you always allowed at the picnic, brother, is you made mention that it looks like they just found all the most beautiful women of color that they could have and threw them in this movie. Because
my goodness,
starting with my one of my favorite looking people on the planet, Miss Lupita Nyong'o. It's just full of like I don't know if anybody. You remember, because you're old enough, but back in the day, there used to be Jet Magazine.
Right.
Jet Magazine used to be exclusive for people, by the people. Jet Magazine. They always used to have a Jet, a little model of the month. Try to find the most beautiful black woman and just put her in Jet Magazine. Let me tell you, this was full of just Jet Magazine models in here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, left and right. It's a great viewing. It's a great movie.
I just found out that Lupita Nyong'o is a month and 1 week older than me.
There you go.
And, if she's not married and she just, if she's... All I'm saying is...
All you need is space and opportunity. All you have to do is be in the same room. That's what my joke used to be. I just need to be in the room. I will take care of the rest myself. I'll introduce myself. I don't need you to have you met my friend. No, just put me in the room. Just give me some access. Let me introduce myself, and anything's possible.
I mean, Chris Evans just got the cover of People magazine, whatever the fuck, for sexiest man alive. Put her on the cover of whatever magazine you have to, and just put even though that there's other people out there. Yes, we know, and it's sexiest man alive is the most retarded thing that you could say, because there's other dudes out there that other women are going, he's not hot, no, I want him. But put the most beautiful woman alive and put Lupita Nyong'o right there on the cover, because my God, she's gorgeous. Every scene she's in, she's just sitting there going, okay.
I mean, and then just a phenomenal actress, you
yes.
ever have to remember, she won an Oscar after she made her feature debut in a movie. So
right, 12 Years a Slave, I believe is what it was.
That's exactly what it was. Absolutely.
But she not only is she a scene stealer because of her fabulous acting, but my God, is she absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, facts.
Drop dead gorgeous.
Facts. We would not be doing our due diligence if we also did not shout out Miss Okoye herself.
Oh my goodness.
Danae Guerrera, I believe that's how you... Yeah, that's... Because, still holding it down. Still one of the baddest women on the planet.
Absolutely.
You give her a spear or a katana sword, she gonna chop down... whether it's cutting down zombies, whether it's cutting down a jive turkeys, you go get Dana. She's a bad mother. She's my general.
Absolutely. And a fabulous actress again as well.
And a fabulous actress as well. She can make you cry.
Oh yeah,
she's one of those who make you cry. If I take anything away from Walking Dead, it's watching her act started to become what I took away as soon as but when I couldn't stand the story anymore, I was like, okay, I can't. Because she's great when she has to turn the tears on and fucking
instantly.
When she has to rage rage fight, you're like, oh, you feel that shit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
she.
Yeah.
Whether she knows to go to a place that hurts or she just knows how to do it. When she goes to a crying scene, my God, the waterworks come on right away.
Yes.
Not just for her, but for us. So she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. And then, like you said, waterworks. Last thing, as we said, this movie was a fantastic send off for Chad. They hooked him up with the opening crawl again. That was all him. Except the difference between Black Panther and this one's is for Black Panther, they had the music behind it. For the first one, the
This was
the
bit of
Marvel
a
theme.
moment
This
of
was
silence.
silent. Yeah. This one had a moment of silence. I thought that was. I think the only thing that could be heard was probably me sniffling in the back because someone started cutting onions. But yeah, this
the entire
was
time
fantastic.
I was hearing it, and it was you're seeing each shot, and then you see more and more of the Marvel sign. I'm sitting in my head going, somebody better not start fucking talking right now. They're going to hear me. I don't want to have to talk right now. This is moment of silence. This is like, this is what we have to do. This and I like I said, I only had to say it once to somebody, and I was kind about it.
Right.
I said, "Can you please stop talking? Thank you."
You still had to, man. Yeah, like I said, my theater was. I think I said I might have been the loud. I wasn't talking, but I but just all reactions. But yeah, no talking, no cell phones, no babies. It was amazing.
Right.
it was an awesome time. Loved it.
Yeah.
And the family next to me had like a little one with him, and I got like, oh, but that baby slept through the whole movie. I was like, oh my God,
gosh,
like,
wow,
this is amazing. Yeah, I know. I was shocked, bruh. Super shocked. Like,
it's an awesome baby.
I don't know how the young lady did it. And she was like, I'm so sorry. She was me. I was like, I didn't hear her at all. She was like, thank you for
Thank you for raising your baby right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. She's going to be president or something. Like, she's going to do something so great. Like, I don't know. She's going to change the world. And then, yeah, last thing is we should, I'll say this. We don't have to super blow it up. But how's about that last cutscene where we definitely know where the basis of our next Black Panther movie is going to come from?
Yeah, well, at least down the line, you're going to have to do. And well, let's just say this now: if you don't want to know what they're going to fast forward.
They're going to fast forward the years.
If you don't want to know what we're going to say, you should have stopped listening an hour ago. But yeah, introducing the son, they give you the clue with the kids at the orphanage and the kids playing. But the moment they said that she was gone and she was never even at the funeral and she hasn't been there for 6 years, I went, yep, there it is. And we had a 6-year-old child playing the son of T'Challa.
Yeah, I didn't put that together. I thought it was going to end with her, like, announcing, like, oh, by the way. Like, I didn't think they'd show the kid. I thought she'd be like, so, by the way, like, I have a son, by the way. And I thought they might save that for whatever's. But the fact they came around, it was just like, Tucson.
Right.
Like, oh, snap. Tucson. That's a great name. But that's not my real name. Oh, what's your name? Like, oh, I am T'Challa. So I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've been preparing him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not only that, but it's like your father's been preparing you for this day, hasn't he? He's like, yep. It's like, okay. Like, oh, let's go. So excited. Such a good movie, Justin.
Yes. And
I went on the ride that I wanted to go on, and I was not disappointed. In fact, my only gripe, it's a silly gripe. I'll say that. I'll preface by saying it's just a thing which, like, I don't know why it bothered me, but it kind of did.
go on.
I just felt like we didn't need to see the bros, like, playing a drum pattern to open the door.
No.
Like,
and
yeah,
especially
it
since
meshed into the soundtrack, and it made this whole cool. Like, yeah, I get it, but like, it's kind of like, really, like, we had to play drums to open the door.
you know what it made me think, because at first, yeah, no, I agree with you completely. And when I saw it, I went, okay, I don't like that. Why? Because they didn't do that in the originals. Like, even in Avengers: Infinity War, they didn't do that. They just flew through a certain coordinates, and that's where you're supposed to go through. And okay, but when I saw that, I after when I was sitting there kind of stewing on it, going, like, why? Why did they have that? What's it? And then I started thinking, okay, maybe that's going to be something that is going to open the doors for somebody to come through.
Callback. Maybe it's a callback. Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe it got cut out. Maybe there was a point
without being that important. Right.
Where people from Telecon opened it because they came out of the water, saw them playing it, saw the beat they had to play, and then got out, killed them, and then did the beating of the drums and opened it. Maybe that got cut out. Maybe it was something that was supposed to happen. But if it wasn't, it was kind of pointless. I didn't like it.
Yeah, seems like a pretty
if thing. If you have to play drums to open up a certain portion of the portal, then your technology isn't as advanced as
right. It felt like a step back.
Yes. Yes.
It felt like a step back. Like what? Okay, like maybe that should have been in the first one. Then it's like, oh no, yeah, remember we used to have to play drums? Oh no, we fixed that. That we don't do that anymore. But this is more streamlined. So I don't know. That felt like somebody's favor. Like, hey man, you remember last time you made the movie? You said you let my cousin.
You said put the drums in.
Well, yeah. and like, okay, so he was in that scene where he was playing the drums. And you cut him out. Yo, so like, listen, he really on my ass, man. You did kind of say like, so can you figure out a way for him to play drums in your movie, man? Like, yeah, we'll think of something.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. It felt like somebody's favor or somebody's like idea where it's like, man, I just want one thing. Can I have this one thing?
Yeah,
remember you said last movie, if the movie made this much money or if we did it, remember you said I could have the one thing? Like, all right, what's the one thing? All right, here's my one thing. I want him playing drums to come into the to the fence. Why? All right, because the song I made, it's got this really cool like water drum beat on it, right? And it would be this cool blend in if you would do it. So you want to have? Why can't we have them doing that during like a celebration or like? Why does it have to be the security to Wakanda? I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, just put it in somewhere. It's like, I don't know. It just didn't feel. It felt odd.
Yeah,
it felt odd. But all in all, like I said, that didn't take away from anything. This movie was awesome. I recommend if y'all didn't see it, please see it. I think it's the perfect if you're going to start your phase with Black Widow and then have all these in the middle where this was kind of the first year where I started to hear things like Marvel fatigue or not really into the shows and not really in with the connective tissue, and then you get into where like Eternals was kind of meh, and then like Love and Thunder people felt like it was kind of meh. I tell you what, this is how you end your phase. If it's like, hey, hold on, wait, but watch my final trick.
Right.
This is the one that's going to send you home. This is the one you're going to talk about on the way home, that last trick.
Correct.
So where some of the other tricks you might have forgotten. You'll remember some of the oohs and ahs, but this last trick, this is going to send you home happy. This is the standing ovation. So this was the great end of the phase.
Absolutely.
This movie's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Good job.
I agree.
Good job to everyone involved. And I look forward to, at the end of the crawl, Black Panther will return. So
yes, I look forward to everything that they set up in this movie.
I can't wait to see what happens with Wakanda. I can't see it happens with Tolo Khan.
Right.
I want Namor to return.
Oh, he will.
I would love that.
They mentioned mutation and technically he is Marvel's first mutant.
Yes.
So he's obviously at some point going to be involved with the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, of course the Avengers. When they put the Avengers back together, it's gonna be a thing. He's gonna pop up quite a bit.
I mean, he's the ruler of the sea in the MCU, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
In this universe,
right?
on this timeline,
right?
Because who knows, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, in that Earth, on that timeline, he runs the water.
Yep.
As he should. They did Namor so well. He's kind of instantly in my top 5 favorite characters, kind of right now in the MCU. He's like 4th or 5th at this point because he was so well done.
I just loved also how the first line he gives is, "Oh, the air is just so clean here. It's so fresh. It's like everywhere else he goes up, it's just like, whoa, man, look what you've done."
People. People.
Gosh darn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it automatically sets up who his character is. But yes, no, this movie was great, and I I can't wait to see everything that they set up for the future, through this movie. It's going to be good.
It will be good.
Yep.
Well, that's the meat and potatoes of the show. What a good meal. Of course, meat and taters is always brought to you by the good people at good old Chan Time. Ha!
Garlic, 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 eat some garlic, come down, come, Chan Time. Get some garlic, always hear it. Chan Time.
Chan Time. Solid.
Yep.
Featuring that garlic sauce. Come and get it.
Garlic sauce, that's right.
Yeah, come and get it.
Not to be confused with the Garth Ethan. Never mind. Everything's fine, and that's why editing is so great.
That's that moment like that's that man. Did you feel off a good show? Yeah. Hey, wait, I got this last trick. No.
Damn it. Oh, it'll sound good. By the way, we can hit stop anytime now. Let's do that, and
right.
Let's wrap this up. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Yeah, they do. Smooth operator. That's what I am right now. I'm such a smooth operator.